So we're here today, which is rather exciting, in episode 1 of a discussion, a chat, a podcast, a talk, a journey back with Maurillia into the beginning of what has been quite an interesting life. So we're going to dive straight in. And if you can, for this episode, can you just keep it to things that are right at the very beginning of your story?
Right at the beginning. Okay? That's okay.
So let's call today in the beginning and look at where your journey started. Firstly, you're here in Morden today, which is quite exciting. And it's really good that you've come.
Thank you.
And this is quite a special day, isn't it?
It is a massive, massive special day. I don't know if that's the right English, but yeah, it sounded great. So massive, special day. Yeah, because it is.
Significant. Should we go straight back? Should we start at the beginning?
Oh.
Tell us where you were born and a little bit about what I love air. I love the atmosphere. I love the ambience of a place and what it sort of feels like there. Tell me about your early childhood memories.
My early childhood memories, it steps all the way back to 1974 in a very, very beautiful Caribbean island called Trinidad and Tobago. I was born in San Fernando, which is one of the counties of Trinidad. And it's not the capital, but it's one of the second largest counties in the country. And I was born to a family of 4 girls. Didn't have a father, didn't grow up with a father. So my granny and my mummy were both mum and dad doing the job as number 3 of the 4 girls. And yeah, it was tough. It was tough growing up. But yet still, we as sisters always had each other, and we had mummy and granny. So we figured, girl power of 6, what could really go wrong? But one unique thing about us is that mummy was blessed with the gift of singing, and she taught us to sing. So at early doors, the age of 2, she taught 4 of us to sing, or just to sing after her, as she will always call the practice, or call when it's time for voice or anything to do with singing. She'll always say, sing after me, and we all 4 of us get running, wherever she is that she needs us to congregate as a little 4-some or 5-some. And she taught us how to sing a tune, or hold a tune, or, and that's where it all started.
So going back, so that we can be taken to that place, can you remember any of the songs from those days, and would you be able to sing just a little snippet of one of them to take us back to your early memories of singing with your mum and your family?
Wow. Early memories of singing with my mum and my family. We grew up mostly listening to gospel songs.
Okay.
The real old-time religious songs. So, it's like Mahalia Jackson, the Clark Sisters, Pastor Shirley Caesar, the Winans, Fred Hammond. It really old school gospel. Do
you think Fred Hammond likes to be known as really old school?
No, but I know he would probably say, yeah. So in the days of him as part of the group, oh my God, yeah.
So can you would you give us a little bit now?
Sure. One of my ones that stands out to me always, it's the old religion of amazing grace. Oh, how sweet the sound
So beautiful.
Yeah, so things like that. And then you get, give me that old time religion, old time religion, old time religion. It's good enough for me. You know, songs like that. You heard, and she would say, "Oh no, 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 no! Stop, stop, stop!" Which she always said she never got any training or anything like that. But I always knew I had a voice. I always knew I had a voice, and I loved singing, and it has always been one of my secret places to go. As I growing up dealing with life as a young woman growing up in Trinidad.
Brilliant. So your voice is a big part of your whole journey.
Yes, it is.
And
Yes, it is.
looking at where you've come from and where you are now, that's one of the things that's been with you all the way.
All the way.
Going back, we've got the gospel influence. Are there other musical influences you think that have also come in, or is that the main root of all of your musical journey?
It's the main root of my musical journey. It's only if we push forward just a little bit, not too far, that I'm hearing modern. I have expounded, and expanded new virtual artists out there, and the terrific tunes and flavors of music that could easily be transformed or transferred into a soul, which is part of who I am as well, because gospel is all soul, is all soul and spirit, combined it together to make one complete person. So for me, it's just a privilege to know that I can combine the two, because I am a soul and spirit person.
So when you're singing, do you sing with your family as a young child? So we're going back, maybe you were age 4. Would that be your earliest memories, 4 and 5 singing?
About 3, yeah.
You remember 3?
3, yeah, 3.
And would you be
3.
singing in the house? Would you be singing? Do you remember singing in church? What's your...
Both places. So it would be starting in the house, because she'll have us there with her practicing. And then when we got to church, she would put us on the stage, because we were I was 3. So that means my last sister was 1.5. She wasn't 2 yet. And then the other bigger ones are just 1 year older than me. So the biggest was 5. So she was 5, 4, I'm 3. And then the last one, she was just about coming up to 2.
And what was church like back then?
Church was like proper old, grey, but yet still full of life, because you're looking at the songs, the titles of Blessed Assurance, Jesus is mine. It is well with my soul. All these proper old Negro spiritual songs that really builds, the genre of gospel music that we grew up on. It just was so live, so full of life, and a part of my journey, and which still is, my, part of my main foundation growing up.
And tell us a bit about your education. So were you educated in the same suburb that you lived in, the same county, or did you travel for school?
No. I was in the same suburb county I did, and I went to school there. And at the age of 7, coming a little bit further on, while going to school, I had this dream, that I would live where the Queen lived one day and be a soldier. So I had this dream at 7 years old, and we found out that same year that the Queen and Prince Philip, bless their souls, was coming on one of their royal visits. And my class in school was chosen to line the streets so that we'd be able to see her and wave at her and welcome welcome them to Trinidad and Tobago. So that was like, oh my God.
So you'd had this dream about wanting to one day live in the land of the Queen.
Correct.
And yet, immediately after that dream, she actually made the visit to see you.
Yeah, literally. Yeah.
That's quite amazing.
Yeah.
And you mentioned there that you had the dream at 7 to be a soldier.
Yeah.
Was that a common dream for a 7-year-old girl? Did you know other role models that you thought, I want to be like that?
No, I saw the Queen, and when I saw her and the guys, the regiment of our defense force was dressed so smartly and gathered in these lines and this parade, just all for her. And I just told myself that one day, wherever she lives, wherever she is, I'm going to live where she lives and join the army so that I can do that to her one
Wow.
day. Yeah.
So going back to your childhood when you had this amazing epiphany aged 7, did you have any male role models in your life that encouraged you, that set you in the right way, that made you think, okay, this is what I could be like? Because you mentioned a lot of women around you
Yes.
in the church and
Yes.
at home.
Correct.
Were there any men that stand out that you remember? As a guy, I like to know that there are some decent men out there that are role models. But did you have any in those early years? Because being a soldier is a very male-heavy world from what I know of it.
Okay.
And you thought, that's a world that I would like to enter.
Well, yeah. I didn't know. I was 7, but all I knew is that I knew I wanted to be that person.
And so there were no other men in your life that had encouraged you?
No
in that?
no other men. And when I woke up that morning and I told mommy the dream, in those days you used to get loads of smacks, loads of licks, as we used to say. We say back home in Trinidad, you get loads of licks. You don't
And you
say
did?
spanks. Yeah, because she was like, you're now learning how to count and say your ABCs and stuff. And yet you're talking about living where the Queen lived and be a soldier.
Oh, so you were punished for having those dreams?
Yeah, I was.
So coming from the picture that I had in my mind was your mum going, oh, well done, singing's going well, and you want to be a soldier and you want to meet the Queen, brilliant. But it wasn't quite like that.
No. She was adamant that, yeah, I was dreaming stupidness. I was always dreaming. And this one was like, took the cake and the plate and go to school and learn your work, learn to count, learn to read. And probably after you do all of that, and then you probably know about the Queen, or if you choose, fine, but learn your basics first. Counting, reading, alphabet, stuff like that. Focus on what you're supposed to know at 7 and not this magical world that I was supposedly in.
So cutting forward to your teenage years,
Yeah,
there's quite a gap between 7 and teenage years.
correct.
And I imagine quite a lot of being told off and chastised if you continue with that dream. Did you then keep that dream quiet, or did you grow into that dream and expand it more and more?
I kept it quiet. Because I'm not really a outspoken person per se for myself, but for everybody else I am. So in the 4 of us growing up, I was the one that was the outspoken one. I was the representation of the 4. You know, if we needed anything, I was like, Mommy, can we have this? And then I would be getting the brunt of everything because they would be behind me, pushing me, you know. Rilla, that's my home name. Rilla, go ask Mommy, you brave enough to do it. And yeah, so I did that. But anything for Maurillia, No. I kept quiet.
So you got to your teenage years. You done school?
Yes, done school.
Did you learn to count?
Yes, I did.
And you learned your ABCs?
Yes, I did.
And then did you meet boys then, or were you a very good girl?
No, I was a good girl. I was a good girl.
I feel like we're hearing half the story, but we'll carry on. So you got your teenage years.
Yeah.
Did you suddenly explore the new types of music, or did gospel sort of hold you, right, I'm staying in the church, I'm going to be a good girl, and in every way, that's how I'm going to live my life? Or did you start to sense that there's other types of music that my friends are listening to, and I want to explore that as well?
No. So growing up, she had us very sheltered.
Okay.
Very sheltered life. Couldn't go much of anywhere other than church, Sunday school, home, school. And that was it. Yeah.
Okay.
That was exactly how she wanted it and how it was.
And just a little, just so we can complete the picture of your childhood, what was the area, when you came out of your front door?
Yes.
What was life like? What did the world look like to you as a child?
It was stereotyped.
I don't know what that means.
Stereotyped as in, you're leaving to go to school. Mm-hmm. That's it. You go to school.
Is it hot? Is it dusty? Is it town? Is it city? Is it?
Oh gosh, no.
What's it like?
It's San Fernando is what to call it? It's like modern, a little
grubby around the edges.
A town, yeah, like a town. Yeah, it's not central city. No, okay. It's literally a town. It's a town.
Was it pretty? Was it ugly?
No, full of greenery, loads of fruit trees. Yeah, some areas are built up. Some areas are communal areas, but no, friendly people, friendly neighbors. Growing up, loads of activities around to do sports-wise and stuff, because I was heavily involved in that. I did basketball, football, netball, volleyball. So yeah, no, I was very active, but yet still focused on how she wanted us to be. So it was from home to school, back home, from home to church, back home, Sunday school in the evening, back home. And that was it. That was it.
But despite all of that and
Correct.
The sport, something made you think there's more out there that I want to explore.
Yeah. And the something is that I met my surrogate mother and father at the age of 16.
Where did you meet them?
Met them at a crusade.
And what's a crusade? Explain that.
Crusade is like a time span. Mm-hmm. So say, for instance, 5 weeks, 6 weeks. Mm-hmm. And every night it's a service. So it's a church meeting.
Okay.
A church gathering. So something like a concert.
Okay.
But the concert is happening every night.
At your home church?
Well, you rent buildings. So
okay.
you rent different locations. You can go to different locations and have it. So this church that we were introduced to at the time heard us sing and invited us as their visiting artists for the crusades of 5 weeks. And I met my surrogate parents there at the crusade.
And in the next episode, we're going to be finding out a little bit what happened with the rest of your journey. But is there anything else from your childhood that you would like to wrap up before we discover where that led you?
Oh my God. It was lovely growing up in Trinidad. It gave me a sense of balance. Yet still it was sheltered. I had balance.
Well, I'm very much looking forward to, in episode 2, finding out what happened next. So thank you so much for being here, and we'll explore that in the next episode.